Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Brent Lesheim, Renaissance Man, Part 7. Hello, Mr. Lesheim.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for coming again
Yeah, yeah,
and appearing. I thought we could talk about how you and I met, or
yeah.
Brent and I met in Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, also known as AA. And I just wanted to talk briefly about it for I'll get your thoughts then. And my idea, because I think Alcoholics Anonymous is a wonderful organization helping people to recover from alcoholism because it's such a scourge. It's just destroyed so many good people in history and still a real problem today. And I think that the principles are very simple. One, at AA meetings, there's the reminder that how much suffering as alcoholism has brought to people, because it's easy to forget. People think, oh, they want to drink again, and it's kind of crazy. So they need that reminder. That's one. A second is prayer, which is wonderful. Prayer to stay sober every day, and also in general for daily life, to help people in their lives. And the third would be service. And the people are come to put out the chairs and make coffee and so forth, and to help each other, especially to help the new guy who's joining and trying, because it's hard. The hardest part is early on. And the fourth would be changing yourself. Very often we blame others, and the thing is, we need to change. Other people aren't going to change. Blaming doesn't do any good. It's a waste of time. We need to change. So facing our flaws, whether it's arrogance or laziness, impatience, anger, various flaws in changing, and then maybe the most important thing is making friends and having fun with friends, not drinking. Because if you quit drinking, all your friends you drink, then you're alone and you're not having fun. And you might drink again. So in AA, make friends and you have fun with them. You don't drink. They used to remember one time they had a party here in the Rocky River City Hall. It was wonderful. They had pizza and lemonade and dancing. It was a lot of fun. No drinking. So anyway, Mr. Lesheim, what are your thoughts from your experiences? Now, one final thing I'll mention is we sometimes we complain about AA and the people in AA, but they're just people, and there's this. Sometimes I call it compared to the Communist Party, but because there is a philosophy, which is actually good, but it's just people, and there's always going to be problems with people. So anyway, what are your thoughts on your experiences with AA over going back to 1985, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I used to drink very, very heavily, and I guess you could call it alcoholically, and it took me down a road that I didn't want to go down. I didn't see it coming, but because of the drinking, and then after a while, the drinking didn't do any good for me anymore. It didn't take away the pain. The pain actually got worse, and I experienced pain that I had never experienced in my life. And so I got involved with AA, and that's where I met you in AA. That's where we first became friends. And yeah, and it's because of that friendship that I am here today. And drinking is no good because it separates you from reality, so to speak, and it shuts your awareness down where you should be aware, but the drinking takes the awareness away and the self-awareness away, and you do all sorts of things that you're not present mentally, and you don't take care of your responsibilities when you're drinking, and it shuts the alcoholic down. It stunts them at a certain age when they started drinking. Like if they started drinking at 12, that's where they stay at 12. And mentally, they don't mature because they rely on the alcohol to take care of all their psychological problems. So, yeah.
And AA?
And AA is good because, like you said, there's so much alcoholism in the world that there's the need for that counter force to combat it, because it'll destroy the individual, and then it destroys families, and then it can destroy societies, I think, and if it really gets out of hand, and I think it has in the past at times, and even today, it's drug abuse and alcoholism is I think, a major factor in destroying society.
So AA was helpful, has helped you?
Yeah, yeah, it's helped me. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
Any other thoughts on AA?
Well, I got a lot of thoughts about AA. I think about AA a lot, and I definitely believe it's a force for good. And it's not it's not an easy path. I don't think so. It's takes a lot of self work, working on yourself, and looking at yourself, and trusting other people, because I think the alcoholic or drug addict doesn't trust other people, basically. That's one of the reasons they start drinking too. But, yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Now, we're both members of Self-Realization Fellowship,
Yeah.
or SRF,
Yeah.
Yoga Meditation, with our guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. And one of the things in SRF, we're taught, Guruji talked about how people misuse memory, and they remember bad things over and over and over, and then how that makes them miserable. And we're taught that God loves us, God created us, or Divine Mother created us, and wants us to be happy. If you love someone, you want them to be happy. And so God wants us to be happy. He wants human beings to be happy. And if we remember bad things in our lives, which one of the things people do, including myself, then we're not going to be happy. So by remembering happy memories, this can help us to be happy now. So do you have? I thought we could talk about some of your happy memories. And
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. Let's see. The first happy memory I have was probably. It's going way back. Maybe I shouldn't go so far back, but I can't remember right now. But I guess taking a trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with my family.
Oh, okay.
That was a good time. That was a happy memory. And I remember fireworks were legal down in South Carolina, so we bought fireworks. And at the time, I was really passionate about fireworks.
How old were you?
I was about, 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they call them? M80s?
Yeah, M80s. I always knew those were dangerous.
Did you have any?
No, at that time, no. Later in life, I did, but
Yeah.
no, not at that time, because I knew they could blow your hand off. So.
Just the
Firecrackers.
little one, the sparkler.
Sparklers and bottle rockets and Roman candles. Yeah, it was a good time. I remember walking into the fireworks store, and I thought I landed in heaven at the time.
Were you with your father?
Yeah.
And so he was okay with buying them.
Yeah, he didn't buy us too many, but he did. He let me buy some, and I wanted more, but I was satisfied with what I had. I would always look at them every day and organize them in categories and stuff and it was fun.
But did they have M80s?
Oh yeah, they sold
M80s.
M80s.
Didn't get any. Your
No,
dad?
my dad at the time, I don't think he realized the power and the danger of an M80, but I knew at that time, yeah, those were very powerful firecrackers.
And you didn't get any.
I was afraid of them, actually. Yeah, so.
Did you set them off with your father?
I set them off with my father, and we had traveled there with some family friends, and they bought fireworks, and I remember setting them off on the beach in South Carolina, and that was a lot of fun. And
They didn't sell them around here, right?
no, that was like,
Right.
for a kid, that was, to me at least, they were like worth their weight in gold. So,
It's funny. I was reading about how they had Chicago White Sox had the first exploding scoreboard where fireworks would go off after a home run for the White Sox, and then the Yankees were in Chicago, and then they weren't being. If the Yankee hit a home run, nothing would happen, so they started lighting sparklers in the dugout. My brother had an M80, and I don't think I ever. Yeah, we had a shoebox, and I don't think we ever lit it off. It was just there,
yeah,
So
yeah, right.
anyway, so
Yeah.
anything else about that memory, or would you like to talk about another one?
Well, I just remember we spent a week down there, and I remember we visited the battleship South Carolina. It was in dock there in some riverside port there in South Carolina. We took a tour of it, and I thought that was fun. And we'd go body surfing in the ocean on these inflatable rafts. You'd lie on them and just go with the waves, and that we did that all day, and I loved doing that. And
Did Lolita do that? And
yeah, she did it a little. She was there too.
Ingar?
Ingar, let's see.
Too young?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, he was too young.
But your dad would do it?
He did a little bit. Yeah.
Your mom?
Well, she would. Yeah, a little bit. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Body surfing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember it being great. It was sunny all week, and it was just a lot of fun.
You have another memory you want to talk about?
I remember traveling to the state of Maine. Oh. That was fun with my family. We did that when I was, let's see, about 21 years old. And I really loved that. I fell in love with Maine, and that was quite scenic, and I just loved it. It was climbed a little mountain there that was not a real big mountain, but a small one, but it was a lot of fun.
What did you like about Maine?
Well, I kind of like the temperate, cool temperatures. I mean, it wasn't real hot. I mean, you had days like today, but it wasn't like a killing heat, I don't think. And it was right on the ocean, and the scenery was spectacular, and there was like rugged coastline, and yeah, and there was like Mount Cadillac Island in Bar Harbor, Maine, and you could go to the top of the mountain, and there were trails that were built by the Rockefeller family that went all the way up and around the mountain, and it was a carriage trail, and they would drive their carriages for recreation there. But that was like over 100 years ago when they did that. So, but the trails are still there, and I just loved it. And the seafood, we had lobster, ate a lobster a few times, and rented a kayak and did some sea kayaking there. It was called Frenchman's Bay, and I don't know, it was just nice.
Okay. Do you have another memory you'd like to talk about?
Let's see.
You told me about going to Victoria's Station.
Right.
Your parents.
Right.
You want to talk about that whole?
Well, yeah. That was in sixth grade. I had done well at a quarter in sixth grade with grades, and my parents took me to Victoria's Station. It was a restaurant in Rocky River, and it was constructed out of these boxcars. Train boxcars, and that's why they called it Victoria's Station. And I just remember, I had a steak at the time, and I thought I liked that. I enjoyed that moment with my parents because they were really proud of me at that time. So that was nice. And
your teacher, who at that time was?
Her name was Mrs. Armstrong.
And you want to talk about her a little bit?
Yeah, she was. I thought she was a great teacher. I really liked her a lot. She was probably, I'd say, my favorite teacher that I ever had. So
sixth grade.
Yeah.
Kensington Elementary School.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
And from time to time, I think of her, and I would like to see her again, but I don't know where she is or if she's still alive. And but I wouldn't mind talking to her because she took an interest in me, and she liked me, I liked her, so it was good.
So she inspired you.
Yeah, she did.
Through kindness.
Kindness, yeah.
And she believed in you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so you really worked hard for her.
Right. Because she was kind of I don't know. There's something about her where she let this person be who they wanted to be, and she wasn't as regimented as some teachers, and she was. She had a way about teaching that was good. It was just kind of hands off, but she would tell you if you were not behaving right and stuff like that, but most of the time it was pretty positive experience.
So she wasn't too strict.
No, no.
And then if you were reprimanded, it would be in a friendly way.
Yeah, it'd be in a way, for me at
in a
least.
nice way.
She reprimanded me once, and I felt bad because I felt like I had, I disappointed her. And so, because she was actually kind of motherly in a way, too. So she was nice.
And you didn't have any other teachers who were... Did you have any other teachers who were... maybe not quite as good as her, but...
Let's see.
Teachers that you liked? Also?
Yeah, my German teacher in high school I liked.
Oh.
Even though I gave her a lot of hard time. I was not a good student, and I misbehaved, but she tolerated me somehow. I don't know. But she was nice.
Did you learn much German?
Not too much. No.
Your dad was happier studying German.
He wanted me to, I guess he was happy, but he wasn't happy how I was performing in it.
Your grades weren't great.
No.
Okay.
I mean, once in a while I'd pull off an A in German for a test or something, but I wouldn't study too much, so. But,
Okay, any other happy memories you'd like to talk about?
Well, right now I can't think of any. I mean, my life has been pretty much a desert of existence, but that's okay. I plan on making more happy memories in the future, so, yeah,
Well, when you saw the movie, well, not the movie, the first episode of The Wonder Years.
Yeah, I like that first episode, yeah, and then after that I never watched it again.
Especially the ending and the song. When a man loves a woman.
Right.
Kevin Arnold and his girlfriend. And,
Yeah, that was nice. That was when I was on the up and up. I was feeling good, and the movie hit me, and I liked it, so.
Let's see. I can think of times you've told me about.
I mean, I don't know if it was. There was a sleep deprivation experiment that was interesting, where we stayed up all night and for maybe more than 24 hours. I don't know, but it was
crazy.
Crazy, yeah. That's when we sobered up. After we sobered up, so we were just having a good time.
Yeah. What did we do to stay up all? It was summertime, right?
Right.
We go to Michael's Family Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
What were we out walking around?
Yeah. Well, I think we stayed down by the beach house and on the lake.
Oh.
And we just talked all night, basically.
Because it ended over at River Square. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What were we doing over? Oh, we went to the library.
Yeah, we
looking
went
for the Vernon Gillespie Vietnam War National Geographic article. And then we were in that parking lot.
Right.
Did we go to Michael's for breakfast? Or?
I think so. Yeah.
And then you'd had enough, and
got
a stick of wood out.
Yeah, I got a stick of wood out. Right, and I was ready to light you up with it. No, I'm just kidding.
That was enough.
You were worried. You go, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you.
It was at 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready. I want to go to bed.
Yeah, I had enough. Yeah, it was like a primal caveman response to stress. Pick up a stick. Leave me alone. I've had enough.
Okay. And then, how about your recovery when from depression? You had that. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
When you.
Well, I'm still recovering from depression, and for me, it's a battle every day. And
but I'm talking about that moment where you were in. This was maybe, I don't know if a year ago or last couple of years, where you were in severe distress one day, mental distress,
right? And
you said you prayed hard for like an hour.
Yeah, I did.
And then, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, I was in severe mental distress, and I thought, oh my God, here I am again in this psychological turmoil, hell, whatever you want to call it, and I thought, not this again, and so I started praying real hard, and the feeling lifted, and after that was over a year ago, and ever since then, things have gotten better for me. Like, I don't know, like every week, I guess I've been improving, and but I've been trying to meditate and trying to follow the precepts of SRF, the teachings, and they seem to be working for me to get me out of this depression. But I still have anxiety sometimes about stuff, and I think everyone has anxiety. Most people do, at least, because the world is there's so much pressure in the world, and there's so much going on, and a person needs something to bolster, some kind of spiritual program of some sort to bolster them up, to help them be able to cope with what's going on. And it's I'm doing a lot better than I have probably since I don't know, since before I started drinking, which was at 12 years old. But I still got to fight this depression, this bipolar illness that I have, and it's a battle.
So that is a happy memory, that when you prayed hard, you were in mental distress, you prayed hard.
Yeah.
What exactly did you pray? You just say, God help me?
Yeah.
And then when, that must be a happy memory, when that you felt you felt a change.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did.
So that moment is like, wow, that you felt, it's like, wow.
Yeah, it was like this relief was lifted off just felt like my stomach area, because when I feel anxiety, I feel it in my stomach area, sort of, and it's like I guess kids, when they feel anxiety, they say, oh, like I have a stomach ache, and it won't go away.
Was that the greatest moment of your life?
Yeah, I'd say it'd have to rank up. It ranks up there. Yeah, it's one or two. Yeah.
What would be another one?
When I was in high school, when I was 16, when I got selected to go to Colorado Springs for soccer training, that was a highlight of my life too.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah, and another one was when we went to Germany with the soccer team, and we beat a really good team that they were supposed to beat us by 6-0, but we beat them 1-0, and they wouldn't shake our hands after the game, and we were euphoric after that win. I remember that, and that was definitely a good moment.
Did you get a trophy for that?
No trophy. It was just a friendly game.
A friendly game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we played like it was major.
Wasn't a tournament.
No, it wasn't a tournament.
Okay.
But it was pretty intense, because I didn't go into the game thinking, oh, this is just a friendly, take it easy. But no, it was because I knew they were a very good team, and I just gave it all I got.
Was that the summer after your junior year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that game was your greatest soccer experience?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how did you play?
Oh, I was tested up. I was tested into I had to use all my whatever abilities I had at the time. I had to exert them, and it was. We didn't play. It wasn't a beautiful game, but we played. We had to play a very defensive game against this team, because it was just a continuous onslaught of their offense, attacking us and taking shots on goal, and defensively we just had to, play. They probably thought we played like American footballers, because we played hard and we kind of played rough, and they're not used to that, and it was just it was a good game for me. Yeah, it really tested me as a soccer player. Yeah, so.
Now you have the nickname Renaissance Man, which indicates an interest in intellectuality and learning, and then sort of overall, I'd say learning. And now, in your, you and I like to talk about books and history, and I remember you got into this one book. It was about was it philosophy, or what was the book that
the Western Mind or something like that? something. There's been several, but I know one of them was something about the Western mind, and that was an interesting book. And excuse me. And yeah, I do have an interest in sociology, psychology, and some philosophy, a little philosophy, mostly psychology and sociology. But so,
what's like one of the greatest books you've ever read? Would you say?
oh,
Where you have a happy memory about, oh, you really enjoyed this book, like a certain book.
Well, I don't know if it was necessarily happy, but it was a good book. It was one of the first books I read. It was called the 13th Valley.
Oh.
It was about the Vietnam War, and that was set me off on my journey of reading books. Pretty much the 13th Valley. I think it was by some writer named Del Vecchio. I guess he was a infantryman or something in the army, and he talked about his experiences there. So,
do you want to talk about some of the people who inspired you? You talked about Mrs. Armstrong?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or she was Miss Zothner. I had her previously. You want to talk about some of the people in your life who inspired you and played a major role in your life in helping you?
Yeah. When I was young, when I first started playing soccer, there was a Hungarian man. He was a soccer coach, and he had a good influence on me. His name was Otto Taransky, and he was real supportive and positive coach. And there was another coach. Well, my dad, for one thing, had an influence on me. My dad was pretty easygoing, but he knew that soccer was the only thing I really was interested in at the time, or good at the time, and so he really pushed me to do that. Kept pushing me to do that, even though in the beginning I didn't want to play, but he got me to play, and after a while I started to like it. So, and my mother, of course. She supported me in that endeavor, and I mean, I would want to get a new pair of soccer cleats, the hottest ones that were out, and she would take me to the store and buy them for me, and I appreciated that, or she'd buy me some soccer gear, like jerseys or shorts that I really liked, and so I remember that. She supported me in that way, and
you felt her love over the years?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of course, she's big into culture. Did she influence you into...
Yeah, she did. She did, even though at first I didn't really appreciate it or like it. But she influenced me culturally, she would make sure that we'd go to plays and the orchestra and opera a couple times, and I don't know if she forced it on. She didn't force it on. It's just the way she was. She loved the arts and the artistic things, so, and beauty and creativity and all that. So.
Did you go to Playhouse Square very often with her?
Yeah, we went. Several times. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy those? Do you remember any of the plays that you saw?
Well, I remember, little segments of plays. I mean, but
remember the names of any? What was the Figaro?
No, I don't. No, I don't remember that. Let's see. No, I don't remember any of the names, because when they took us to plays, I was only 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. So I would just sit there, and it was kind of like just through osmosis. You're just sitting there looking at the stage, and thinking, oh, when's this going to be over? But so I would have to sit there and absorb what was coming, what I was experiencing at the time. So I just have some images that I remember, but I don't remember any names. But
well, we've had a good talk here.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to talk about before wrapping up?
Well, I don't. I recently I'm going to go to a CPR class at the local library. I have an interest in that, learning CPR, and because I always think, well, what happens if someone in my family or friends or whatever passes out or something, and because of an injury, and I don't want to just be sitting there like not knowing anything. So I figured if I learned CPR skills and they're offering them for free, that'll be a good thing. So yeah. So
Okay.
that's it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lesheim,
Yep,
for
yep.
coming and sharing and opening up. And thank you, so dear viewer. Thank you so very much for watching. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.